Okay, so first we are starting with ballistics. Ballistics. So if you look here, this one means when the bullet is coming out of the till the bullet is coming out of the gun. Okay, whatever the mechanism that is happening inside the gun till the bullets come outside. Till bullet comes outside. Studying this thing, this mechanism is known as proximal ballistic. It is proximal ballistics. And this, once it left the gun until it reaches the target. After leaving till reaching target. That is intermediate ballistics. It is intermediate ballistics. And once it reaches the target, whatever happens in the target, that is your terminal ballistic. So, terminal ballistics. Whatever that happens after it reaches the target, that is your terminal ballistics. And as forensic expert, what we are going to study is this terminal ballistics. Clear? Terminal ballistics would be our main concern. So, first, before going into the terminal ballistics proper, let us have some idea about guns, the types of guns, types and classification of guns. So, like there are a lot of classification, but what I'm going to say here, it is the only classification that is relevant to us, that is based upon the bore of the gun. See, bore is this is the bore. Okay, that vacuum space inside the barrel of the gun, that is the bore. And this bore, whether it is smooth or not, based upon that we are classifying the firearm. So this, if you could see here, it is completely empty. See, here nothing is there. So this thing, this is a smooth bore firearm. An example for smooth bore firearm is shotgun. Yes, right. So shotgun is what we repeatedly say, but we don't say this term smooth bore firearm, but it is actually a type of smooth bore firearm. And here, if you look at this, here do you see all these markings inside the barrel, this bore? This is rifling. Clear? This is known as rifled firearm. This is rifled firearm. So if the bore is smooth, if there is no markings over the barrel, we will call it a smooth bore firearm. Example is your shotgun. And rifling, if it is present inside the bore, it is known as rifle firearm. An example is everything. All the guns we know, your revolver, pistol, everything, all the modern guns. Like these are the two broad classification. You have the smooth bore and the rifle firearms. In this, in exam point of view, what we need to know is caliber. So what is caliber? So we told that inside the bore we will have riflings. Clear? So if you take like this, like you will have an elevation, then depression, then you will have elevation. So this is how rifling will look like inside. See, this is how it is. Like this is a depression, this is an elevation. So this rifling, it is done like that only. Now what we are going to do is we are going to measure the distance between two opposite lines. See the distance between two opposite lines. Distance between two opposite lengths. That is your caliber. Okay, caliber is nothing but the distance between two opposite lengths. Clear? So, there will be questions and we have to know. Next. So, we have seen this rifling and smoothbore firearm. We have seen now. Now, I will ask you something. Like, you know, the projectile, whatever that is coming out of the gun, the bullet, it will come out of this bore, right? Now, when they are coming out of this bore, this smooth bore firearm, there is nothing inside, so it will easily pass through. But this rifle, there are a lot of markings inside. So now, what will happen when the bullet is traveling through the gun? This rifling, that mark will be seen along the bullet case, right? So this is a normal bullet. This is a normal bullet, and this is the projectile. This is the projectile that is used in rifle firearm. Clear? And when the bullet, it is passing through that rifle, when it is passing through the bore, when it is shot, what will happen? Like all the markings inside the gun, it will appear on the bullet. Okay, the mirror image of rifling will be seen over bullet. Clear? That is known as primary marking. So these things, see here, this, do you see the difference between this? This is an unshot bullet and this is a bullet that has been fired. So this is your primary marking. Now there is different thing that we have to know, that is secondary marking. Like what is the difference between this primary and secondary marking is that this primary marking, it is individual and specific to single type of firearm. That is like the make and model. The make and model. If the make and like in a batch they are making 10 guns and all these 10 guns, they will cause the same primary marking. If you are analyzing fired bullet from all these 10 guns, all these 10 rifles, if you check the marking, the primary marking, it will be similar. So primary marker will help us to identify individual make and model. Okay, so this is for primary marking. What about the secondary marking? Is that this secondary marking is something individual and specific to the particular gun. Do you get it? What I'm saying is, if you compare primary marking, you can say the make and model of the gun. But if you are comparing secondary marking, you will be able to identify the exact individual particular gun. Clear? This is what primary marking and secondary marking is about. This primary marking you can easily see. But this secondary marking, it will be really minute and you have to use comparison microscopy to analyze these markings. And this whole process, it is known as bullet fingerprinting. So this whole process is known as bullet fingerprinting. Clear? So the projectile, that is bullet, when it is coming out of the rifle, it will take the marking, that is primary marking, because of that rifle marks inside the gun. And primary marking will help us to identify the make and model of the gun. And secondary marking, it will help us to identify the exact gun. And The process of finding this out uses a comparison microscope, and the whole process is known as bullet fingerprinting. Clear? Now, this thing. So, do you see this injury here? So, this one, just see closely. Here, this is the injury, right? This is the wound. Now, you see other things also. Do you see this? See this. This is your abrasion. This marginal thing, this is an abrasion. And like this black thing that you see here, that is grease. Clear? So these are the things that you are able to see here. Now, this is a case of firearm injury. I am saying this is a case of firearm injury. How am I saying? Because, see, here, whenever a bullet comes out, okay, whenever a bullet comes out, it will, along with it will have flame, smoke and unburned tattoo powder. You will get to see all four of these. You will have the bullet coming out. You will have the flame coming out. You will have the burnt and unburnt gunpowder coming out. Now, this thing. So, first, here we will go to the same picture. So, this wound effect, this is caused by your bullet. Clear? Now, do you see this small dots here? These small things here. See all these things. These are known as tattooing. These are known as tattooing, and these are caused by unburnt gunpowder. And apart from these abrasion, collar, grease collar, everything it is caused by bullet only. When the bullet is striking the skin, because of the mechanical expansion, the skin will get abraded. So you will get abrasion collar. Grease collar, like when it is coming out of the barrel, it will bring the lubricant along with that, and that lubricant it will coat the wound. That is your grease collar. So now we have seen effect of the bullet, we have seen effect of the unburnt gunpowder. Now here, do you see this one? Now tell me what these are and tell me what these are. So this one, the small circle and the big circle. Now the big circle, the small dots we already saw over here. So these are tattooing, right? So these are tattooing, and these black thing, this is soot deposition. This is soot deposition. So the soot deposition is due to what? It is due to burnt gunpowder. This is due to burnt gunpowder, and tattooing it is due to unburnt gunpowder. Clear? So wound along with the abrasion collar, grease collar, it is caused by your bullet. Next, tattooing, it is caused by your unburnt gunpowder. Then soot or blackening, also known as blackening, it is caused by your burnt gunpowder. Clear? Now we have seen three things. One more thing is left, that is flame. So flame is what? It is nothing but fire, right? So fire, it will usually cause what? Fire will cause what? It will cause burn, right? So flame, you will get to see singeing of hair. If there is hair present, you will get to see singeing of hair. Otherwise, you will get to see burnt clothing. like a hole, burnt hole would be seen over the clothing. If it is present, like if the gunshot is present over the like covered area where the body is clothed, you will be getting to see that burnt clothing. So flame, burning and singeing, right? Then smoke is blackening, unburned powder, tattooing, then bullet, your wound, defile. So these are the things we have to know in case of a bullet wound. If all these things are present, like if it is a case of gunshot injury, there will definitely be this abrasion collar, this grease collar will be present sometimes, and this blackening and tattooing also you will be able to appreciate. Clear? And this is why, because all these grease collar and the flaming, blackening, it can be seen over the clothing. If the gunshot is over the cloth area, all this will be seen over the clothing. So because of this, clothing examination is must. Clothing examination and preservation is must in gunshot injury because of these only. Clear? So gunshot wound, we have to preserve the clothing. Now this thing, so this tattooing and blackening, there is one more difference. See, this blackening, this is basically what it is, burnt gunpowder, right? It is burnt gunpowder, and what will happen here is that it will be lesser in weight, so it will deposit in the epidermis. Clear? And this tattooing, this tattooing, it is unburnt gunpowder, and they are bit heavier. They are bit heavier comparatively. So they will go deep into the dermis. Clear? So blackening, it will be seen over the epidermis, while the tattooing, it is going inside the dermis. Now tell me, I have told you like it is seen over epidermis, it is seen over dermis, tattooing. Now my question is, if it can be wiped off, whether it is blackening or tattooing. If something can be wiped off, what it is? Whether you will be able to wipe off blackening or tattooing. Yes, so you will be able to wipe off blackening because it is seen over epidermis. If it is not wiped off, it is tattooing. Clear? So this is the thing about blackening and tattooing. So like the gun, when it fires, you will get the bullet along with these three other things, and the effect of these things we will be able to see. Now tell me, what is this? So this is blackening, right? This is blackening, and this is tattooing. So this is tattooing, right? So now why I am saying about this is that we can identify the range of firearm. At what range the firearm was shot, we will be able to identify. How? So if you are seeing flame plus suit plus tattoo, then it is a near range. If you are seeing suit plus tattoo, it is intermediate range. Here you are only seeing tattoo, that is also intermediate range. And if you are seeing only wound defect, then it is distant range. Clear? So the shortest distance traveled by flame, next to that is suit, after that is tattooing. Depending about the distance, intermediate, you will be getting to see either suit plus tattooing or only tattooing. Clear? And if all of these things are absent, then it is definitely a distant range. And all three are present, it is near range.